the wrong place, Ezra Bridger.
Master? Master Kenobi?
I am, and when you have your strength, I will help you on your way.
Star Wars Rebels. This is going to be, since the Ahsoka trailer came out hours ago, I wanted to take the time to give you my overview of Star Wars Rebels, dealing with a few years before A New Hope, or a few years before Rogue One, however you cut it. And I definitely see it as the prequel to Rogue One, if not A New Hope. Definitely not as memorable as, say, well, The Clone Wars. But I mean, less said about this movie, the better. What a great movie this was. I remember this was the 7th Star Wars movie. I went to that movie theater back in 2008 to see this. But anyway, I mean, people will say that Avatar: The Last Airbender was Dave Filoni's masterpiece, and that he did a little bit less in the Clone Wars and a little bit less here. I only saw a little bit of resistance. Star Wars Rebels, okay, so you got Ezra Bridger, who's a once and future Jedi. You got the first Inquisitor, who is from Utapau. You got Hera, Zeb, Chopper. I keep forgetting her name. I don't remember her name. Kanan Jarrus, and then you got, I keep forgetting her name. I'm sure it's important. So this first season, what it is that Dave Filoni had an approach to what is it? The Ralph McQuarrie approach to the art. So like Zeb being a prototype Chewbacca, and the way C-3PO and R2-D2 look. My first exposure to the cartoons was obviously Droids and Ewoks, way back when, as you all saw my Saturday morning stuff. That was my first exposure to Star Wars cartoons. I never saw the holiday specials. I never saw the Boba Fett, like the first appearance. So I enjoyed the first season. It does bring back memories of droids and Ewoks and that time where it was just the rebellion versus the Empire. No separatists, no supreme chancellors, no Gungans or battle droids or Sith or anything like that. Nothing. No CGI, but this is all CGI. And this is the first season. And I never saw the edited version. I have the edited version with the Ghost 3D pop-up ship that, it's a little cellophane wrapper. I never unwrapped it. It's still there. And the one I watched on ABC was the new version with Darth Vader, the intro. And it's like there had not been a Star Wars cartoon on ABC since Saturday morning. And I noticed that it had been like, 26 years. Yeah, 26 years between, or 27 between the 80s cartoons to this one. So it is a continuation of the Clone Wars in that you have Ahsoka, you have some other characters like Rex and Wolf, and I think one of the clones died. So season 1 was, I liked it. It was bare bones, but I liked it. Here we get into Vader and the whole final confrontation between Ahsoka and Vader. I think one of the Imperial officers would defect. And here is Ezra with his blaster saber, whatever that is. I think my favorite is not this girl. I like Hera more. I'm into Hera, personally. Ahsoka, not so much, but Hera. Here we got Yoda, which is terribly animated here, terribly looking. And they wanted to go for a Yoda approach for Darth Maul. Like, he just comes up to Ezra like, oh, yes, my friend. Oh, yeah. More like Chamberlain from The Dark Crystal. Enjoyed this one. I think we see more of Thrawn. Thrawn is introduced in the first one, right? So, and we had that Cate Blanchett character. What is it, Governor Price? She looks like she came from, what is it, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So they kind of made tribute characters. Then we get to 3, which is dealing with Obi-Wan Kenobi and the fate of the universe with the stand between Thrawn and the rebels. It was very much like a Star Trek show. I remember Dave Filoni did an interview once, like over a decade ago. He said, we don't want to have small universe syndrome. We want people to explore. But I always felt that this was a shadow of what the Clone Wars was. We went to all these planets and we looked at all kinds of characters. We always focused on Ezra and the crew. We never once had a whole episode dedicated to the Empire, or a whole episode dedicated to droids, or a whole episode dedicated to Boba Fett and the Fringe, or a whole episode dedicated to Jabba the Hutt and whatever happened to Rada the Hutt, or missionaries, or I don't know, just anything. I mean, that was the thing about the Clone Wars, that it went to different places. And then finally we get to season 4, and I liked how the Emperor was portrayed. He looked like something out of what is it, that the children who were on Star Trek and they had powers, and this old man with the silver robe was like ghosts, and he tried to trick the children, and he looked like something out of Night Gallery, like literally something out of 1970s. Like, yes, Ezra, I am your friend, and it's like, it's Darth Sidious in disguise, and he had the world between worlds. And one would say that, Ahsoka did die against Vader, but that she was pulled into the world between worlds and saved her life. And here we have the wolf that is connected to the Force. So there's a lot of things. There's remnants of the prequels. And once you watch all of this, then you can get into Rogue One, and then maybe SC-38, that 6-minute movie that was like a fan movie based off the scene between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in episode 4 that is still on YouTube. Great little film. I suggest you watch it. I don't have much more to say. It is like a Star Trek. In some ways, it's like what Star Trek Prodigy could be, if these characters were more grown up. Honestly, I still want to see like Prodigy, where they're all the heroes are in uniform and they have a whole ship full of like hundreds of people. Like, what would that look like? May never know. Between that show and He-Man and the Masters of the Universe probably getting shit canned for Revolution. I mean, it could have gone another couple of seasons. What we have now is season 2 or 3 of Bad Batch. We're going to get Ahsoka. So Ahsoka is going to be like more of what's happening here. We're going to see the return of Ezra, the return of Thrawn. Now, for anybody who's not read Heir to the Empire, I've only looked at the comic book. It's very good. And in that one, I can safely tell you that Thrawn does meet his end. He does meet his end through machinations of the enemies he kept close. And he had his own division of the Empire. So even though Vader's dead, Palpatine's dead, Thrawn wanted to assume control, and he tried to assume control of what was left. I think that's how Dave Filoni would see him, as though even though this guy has no powers, he's not a Sith, he has no Sith, Force magic or anything like that. This guy still has an advantage that he's the only leading, Force left. I think Price is long gone. I think she's dead. So that's what's supposed to happen, is that we're going to see all of them. I mean, obviously Chopper is going to come back. There's a Chopper model somewhere. Sabine, that's right. Sabine Wren. Took me a while to remember Sabine Wren. But obviously it's all about Hera. We can't forget about Hera. Not Vanessa Marshall, but what's her name? Elizabeth, whatever her name is. The one from Harley Quinn, The Birds of Prey. She was, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Mew, as she called herself. Mew. All right, so I would say I would give this one an 8. This one a 9, because I like the Maul Obi-Wan stuff going on here. This one an 8, and the first season a 7, if it's over here, yeah. This one gets a 7. So I would say that if you really, really want to see the best Star Wars, you're better off with the Clone Wars. And may the Force be with you, and live long and prosper, and Goonies never say die, whatever. All right. Until next time, I don't think I'm going to get Disney Plus, but let's hope Disney doesn't have a forever paywall on some of the stuff. I mean, don't you think about now is the time to put some of those Disney Plus exclusives on DVD? Why not?